Okay, so we're gonna get started. We've got a short little warm up, about 5 minutes, and then we have an upper body portion of the class and then a lower body portion of the class. So the whole thing is gonna be about 30 minutes long. We'll have a little cool down at the end and lots of rest in between. Like I said, if you need any rest, feel free to take it at any point. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and start with our warm up here. So for 30 seconds, you're gonna plant your right heel, reach your arms down towards your foot and then up towards the ceiling. And then we're gonna switch feet. So reaching towards the left foot and up to the ceiling. Really trying to crease at your hip here, get it all the way down to the ground as close as you can, and then stretch all the way up to the ceiling. Again, as far as you can get, that is perfectly okay with me. Just trying to warm up your body here, get a little bit of a stretch. We're gonna go for 2 and 1. We're gonna bring our arms out to the side now. We're gonna go for a little seated spinal twist. So we're gonna twist to one side, following with your head, and then come back to the center, twist to the other side. Little spinal twist here, warming up our spine, helping us get some movement through our core and our upper body. We have 3 and 2 and 1. Next, going for my favorite shoulder rolls, you're going to bring your shoulders up to your ears, back to your back, and then down your spine. So going in a big circle with your shoulders, bringing them up, pressing them back, and then down the spine. This really works to open up the chest here, restore our posture. I know I am certainly guilty of having bad posture when I'm sitting sometimes, so it's a good reminder to just open up the chest, bring the shoulders back. For 2 and 1. All right, last thing before we start this all again, we're gonna go for a seated head roll. So just go ahead and tilt your chin down, roll your right ear to your right shoulder, chin goes back down, left ear to left shoulder, just kind of going in a half circle, moving the neck from side to side. In 2 and 1. All right, little 30-second rest here. Feel free to move your fingers and your toes, something we often forget about to warm up here, but we're gonna have a little bit of a breather. Feel free to take some water, and then we're gonna do this whole thing again. So this is still our warm up. We're halfway through the warm up now. So we're gonna get started. We're going for the toe touch to stretching up towards the ceiling in 3 and 2 and 1. So going to the right foot here, stretching down, and then all the way up to the ceiling. I'm just gonna turn so you guys can see. I'm bending forward, restoring the posture up to the ceiling, then switching feet. So by flexing the heel here and just putting the heel on the ground and pointing the toe up at the ceiling, you might actually get a little bit of a stretch down your hamstring through the back of your leg. That is great if you wanna do that. If it's more comfortable for you to just put the foot flat, that's totally fine too. Alrighty guys, for 2 and 1. Alrighty, back to that spinal twist. So arms come out to the side. We're gonna be going to one direction, trying to twist the spine, turning the shoulders and the head, coming back to the middle and other direction. Okay, so it's not about how far you get here. It's really just about warming up the spine. So, if you can only get a little bit of a turn, quarter turn, that's totally fine with me. Just keeping that good posture, chin up, shoulders are back. We've got 2 and 1. Going for our shoulder rolls again. Back to this one. Again, my favorite, bringing the shoulders up, back, and down the spine. Warming up our back, opening up our chest. Make sure you're keeping your head up on all of these exercises today. Trying not to slump over in our chair. Great job, guys. Going into our last exercise of the warm-up for the seated head roll. So this one, we're actually going to go to the back. So you're going to tilt your head to the left, roll it back, look up at the ceiling, and then to the right. And we're going to do a half moon in this direction this time. So trying to keep the shoulders down and away from the back of the neck while we go for this one. If the other one is more comfortable for you, feel free to do that one instead. But we've got 3 and 2 and 1. Nice job, guys. That's the warm-up. So feel free to grab some water, adjust your seat, anything you need. We are about to head into our upper body circuit. Okay, guys, so basically how this is going to work is that we're going to be doing each exercise for 30 seconds, then we'll move on to the next exercise. We're going to go right through them, and then we'll do that all again. So you end up doing each exercise twice because we're going to go through for 2 sets. Okay, guys, so I'm just going to go ahead and demonstrate as we go. You'll probably have seen some of these before if you guys have taken a strength or conditioning class. If you feel like you're doing these classes a lot and you feel ready, you could always hold 1 or 2 pound weights for the upper body exercises. But, I recommend if you've never done something like this before, definitely just start with no weights, and then you can progress next time if you want to. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start. The very first exercise is going to be with our shoulders. So we're going to be pointing our thumbs up at the ceiling, bring our arms up so that they're parallel with the floor, and then down. So thumbs are coming up, arms are coming up so that they're parallel with the floor, and then slowly lowering them down. We don't want to just drop our hands down. We want to keep our posture up, pull in your core here, bring the thumbs up, and then lower down. So we've got less than 10 seconds left of this exercise. For 3, and 2, and 1. Go ahead and rest. Feel free to shake out your arms, shake out your hands whenever you need to. We're going to be going next into our abduction. So we're going to be going out to the side, thumbs up again. We're starting in 2 and 1. So arms are coming out to the side, again, coming parallel to the floor. Make sure your feet are flatly planted on the floor if you can. Pull in that core, sit up nice and straight, and we're bringing thumbs to the ceiling and then lowering them down. Alrighty, guys. So both of these exercises are working our deltoid muscle, which is right here on the shoulder. This one was working the front of that muscle, and this exercise that we're doing now is working the side of that muscle. So a little fun fact, we're going to go for 2 and 1. Go ahead and rest. Next, we're going to be going into our bicep curls. So you probably have seen this one, pump and iron at the gym or whatever, you've seen it on TV, but we're not going to be using any weights today. We're going to take the hands, palms out. You can curl the hands, bringing the fist up to your shoulders, okay, for bicep curls. We've got 30 seconds of these. So again, just making sure that you're keeping that chest nice and open. We don't want to cave in while we're doing this one. So we're going to be keeping our chest open and curling those biceps, really thinking about getting a good squeeze right here in your bicep muscle. So keep going for that one. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Alrighty, guys, we're going to set up for our seated pendulum, which is our next exercise. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your left hand on your knee, and you're going to get a little bit of a lean over so that we can let that arm hang, and we're going to go in a small circle. Okay, guys, so starting in 3 and 2 and 1. So this is actually a stretch for your shoulders. So the purpose is to kind of let your arm hang, let your shoulder loose, and go in small circles here, really getting some distance in the joint. For 2 and 1, we're going to go ahead and switch arms. So right hand on the knee, go ahead and let the left hand arm hang. We're going in circles. Okay, guys. So again, we're creating some distance in that joint, getting a little bit of relaxation here in the middle of our upper body circuit. Nice job. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Perfect job, guys. 15-second rest. We're about to go into our shoulder retractions. So for this one, the only thing that we're doing is pulling our shoulder blades together and then relaxing to a normal seat. Pulling the shoulder blades together and relaxing. We're going to go ahead and start in 2 and 1. So you pull your shoulder blades together as if you're pinching a pencil between them on your back, and then go ahead and relax. Pinch and relax. So we're trying to get all the movement from this upper part of our body, our upper back, trying not to use our lower back to create that movement, just the upper back. We've got less than 10 seconds of this one, really feeling the contraction between the shoulder blades. For 3 and 2 and 1. All right, coming up on the last one, and one of my favorites. It looks funny, but I promise it's going to be helpful. So this one's called a chin tuck. So I don't know if you've done this one before, but you're basically going to make a double chin with your neck and then relax. So think about if you had a wall behind your head, you're pressing your head into that wall, making that double chin, and then relaxing. We're going to go for 30 seconds in 2 and 1. So I'm tucking the chin back, relax. tucking the chin back, relax. And you can see it makes me talk a little bit different when I'm tucking that because I'm creating a little less distance right here in my chin. Pushing the head back like you're pushing it into a wall. So we don't want to be tilting our head down or up. We just want to be pushing it back. And this is a really good postural exercise. For 3 and 2 and 1. That one looks really funny, but I promise it helps. It helps if you're having that forward head posture or you find yourself sitting like this. If you're at a computer often, doing those chin tucks really helps to align your upper neck, your upper cervical spine to the rest of your spine. So guys, we're taking a short break here. We're going to go through that all one more time. Again, if you're feeling like this is super easy, you can always pick up the pace on your reps. So like, let's say we're doing the bicep curls and you're not feeling it too much. Go ahead and pick up the pace. You can do it a little bit faster if you want. Same with this exercise. Same with this exercise. The only one I wouldn't recommend doing it with is the chin tucks. You want to keep that one nice and slow. Okay. Any questions so far? Feel free to wave. No, I'm going to take that as a no. Okay. All good. We're going to go ahead and get started with the seated flexion again. Bringing our thumbs up and our hands out in front of us. We're going in 2 and 1. So arms come up parallel to the floor, back down by our sides. Parallel by our sides. Again, pulling our core in, really keeping our shoulders back and our chest open while we're doing these exercises. Perfect. We have a little bit more than 10 seconds left of this exercise. Again, if you want to pick up the pace, go ahead. If you want to slow down the pace, that is good too. If you want to progress this exercise next time, you would just hold dumbbells in your hands right here. Same exact exercise. For 2 and 1. Go ahead and relax. The next exercise we're going into is going to be our shoulder abduction, coming out to the side. We're going to be starting that one in 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, arms come out to the side here. Thumbs are facing up. So we are working this side of our shoulder muscle right here at this point. That is our deltoid muscle. Awesome job. Just keep those feet firmly planted on the ground, keeping our posture up here. We've got a little less than 10 seconds before a brief rest. Nice work, guys. In 3 and 2 and 1. Go ahead and have your rest. We're going to go for our bicep curls next. So again, making a fist. Palms are up though. We're going to be bringing our fists to our shoulders. We're going to go in 3 and 2 and 1. Here we go. 30 seconds. So all these exercises are great exercises that you can do in reps instead of timing. So we're doing each exercise today for 30 seconds. But if you wanted to do them for 20 reps instead, that would be totally good too. For today's class, we're just going to do it timed. I like to do a lot of timing in a lot of my classes that I've been teaching. Alrighty, guys, so we've got 5 and 4, 3 and 2 and 1. Resting here, we're getting set up for our pendulum. So that is the stretch that's going to create a little bit of distance in our joint. So we're going to put our left hand on our knee. We're going to hang that right arm and we're going in small circles here in 2 and 1. Okay, guys, so just leaning over as much as is comfortable for you. You don't have to lean over all the way. Basically, just try to relax that shoulder. Try to feel like your arm is dead weight. We're really letting it all go. For 2 and 1, and we're going to switch sides, right hand on the right knee, and go ahead and go for that other arm. Okay, again, creating some distance in the joint. We tend to overuse our shoulders, especially when we carry tension in our shoulders, so this is a good stretch, especially in the middle of our upper body workout. For 2 and 1. Okay, getting set up. We're going to be taking a brief break and then going for our shoulder retractions. So again, if there was a pencil right in the middle of your spine, right in the middle of your back, you'd be squeezing your shoulder blades together to pinch that pencil. So we're going to go in 2 and 1. Here we go. We're pinching the pencil, letting it go. Pinching, letting go. And we don't want to arch our back like this. We want to keep our core nice and stable while we are doing these exercises. So the longer you hold that pinch, the longer your shoulder blades are together, the more you're going to feel that contraction. Perfect. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. All righty, going into our last exercise of the upper body portion is the chin tucks again. Everyone's favorite. You can actually do these ones lying down so that you can really feel your head pressing into the bed, the pillow, whatever you're lying down on, the couch. But we're gonna go ahead and go for another round of the seated ones in 2 and 1. Here we go. So we're tucking the chin, let go. Tucking the chin, let go. So again, pressing it back as if you're pressing it into a wall, and then letting go. Correcting that upper spine posture so that we're not having our heads forward. It's so common now with how much we're on computers, laptops, our phones, that we have this forward head position, and we really want that head to be in line over our spine. So we've got 2 and 1, and that is it for the upper body portion. Great job, guys. Grab some water, have a little bit of a rest. That was it for the upper body, so we're moving on to lower body next. Okay, so still everything is seated, but if you would like to challenge yourself and stand up for any of the exercises, I will tell you when you have an opportunity to do so, but all the exercises are able to do in a seated position. The only thing that I have to tell you before we get started is that one of the exercises that we're going to be doing is a hamstring curl. So in our seated position, we're going to be bringing our leg back underneath our body. So if you don't have room under your chair for you to bring your leg back, you might have to turn on your chair, or we can work something else out. So check and see if you have room to curl your leg under your chair, and otherwise flag me down when we get there. Alrighty? I'm looking for flags, but I think everyone's good. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with the lower body portions. We have about 10 more minutes of work before we head into our cool down, okay? So each exercise, again, is going to be 30 seconds. There are some exercises that we'll be doing one leg for 30 seconds and then the next leg for 30 seconds. But besides that, we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with the first exercise, kind of a funny exercise, but these are called glute sets. You're going to be seated. You're going to squeeze your glutes on the back of your body and then relax. Squeeze your glutes and then relax. So it should feel kind of like you're squeezing your glutes together and then relaxing. This is really going to activate our glutes for the rest of our exercises. So when we consider our cores, when I talk about core, I'm not only talking about the abdomen, but our glutes are actually part of our core. So they're what helps keep us stable. They're what helps maintain our posture. So it's really important to be training those glutes. So we're doing squeeze, relax, squeeze, relax. All right, for 2 and 1. All right, we're going to go ahead and rest. 15-second rest. We're going to go for those hamstring curls I was talking about. So we'll be doing 30 seconds on the right leg, and then we'll switch to 30 seconds on the left leg. Just make sure you have a little bit of room under your chair. We're going to be curling the right leg under the chair in 2 and 1. Here we go. Sitting up nice and tall. We are curling so the heel comes to the glutes, and then relaxing so the heel comes to the floor. Okay, curl, relax, curl, relax. So our hamstrings live right on the back of our leg, our upper leg here, and that's what does this action here, this bend at the knee. So we are using those muscles, curling the heel towards the glutes, and then relaxing foot to the floor. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. We're switching sides here. So I'm going left leg, same exercise, curling the heel to the glute and bringing it back to the floor. Good point to check your posture here. Are you forgetting about your posture when you're focusing on good exercise form? That happens sometimes when I'm doing really hard exercises. I find myself slumping over because my brain is working, but we want to restore our posture, chest up, shoulders back, and bring in your core. For 2 and 1. All right, we have 15 seconds here. This exercise, option to standing, holding on to your chair for stability. We're going for marches. So bringing the knee up to the stomach. Okay, bending the knee, bending at the hip. Option to be seated, bringing the knee up, same thing. Okay, guys, we are marching here for 3 and 2 and 1. We've got 30 seconds of marches. Great job. So if you're sitting here, make sure that you're not caving over. Again, we want to keep our posture up, keep our shoulders back, bringing the knee to the chest. If you are standing here, hold on to something for balance. We're bringing the knee to the chest, bringing it up, and then planting the foot firmly on the ground before you bring the next foot up. Great work, guys. We've got 3 and 2, and 1. Awesome job bringing it back to our seated position. So the next exercise that we're going to do is kind of like the hamstring curl, but it's called Longar Quad, and it's going to be working our quad muscle, which is the top of our upper leg. So we're going to be going for our Longar Quad. We're going to be extending the lower leg with the right leg first in 3, and 2, and 1. So we are extending the leg in front of us, squeezing the top of our leg, and then relaxing. Okay, guys. So again, doing this at your own pace, you should really feel the top of your leg firm up here when we're doing this one, and then bringing the foot back to the floor. Okay, you don't have to get the leg all the way straight if it's not comfortable for you, even if you get the leg to here. As soon as you get the leg to start extending, you're already working that quad muscle. We're going for 2, and 1. We're going to go ahead and switch. So now we're doing the left leg here, going to be extending it out, straight and relax, straight and relax. So again, just making sure I'm sitting up nice and tall, getting that firm contraction in the top of this muscle, right at the top of the thigh, and then relaxing the foot to the floor. Less than 10 seconds. We've got 3, and 2, and 1. Perfect. Next exercise we're going to be going for is the seated calf raise. You can also do this one in standing. In standing, you're going to be holding on to something for balance, coming up onto the toes, slowly lowering back to flat foot, up onto the toes. If you'd like to do this in seated, we're going to stay seated here, bring the toes up, contract the back of your calves, and then go ahead and bring the heels back to the floor. Okay, guys, so we're going for 30 seconds here. Right now I'm doing the seated version, bringing the toes up so that I'm on my toes, and then resting the heels back to the floor slowly. If you're in standing, same exact motion, bringing the toes up, slowly lowering the heels to the floor. Okay, guys, this is a much progressed version of the chair version. Okay, you're essentially lifting your whole body weight in this one, so make sure you're taking it at your own pace. We're going for 3, and 2, and 1. Great job, guys. That is set number 1. We're going to do it all again, and then that'll be it for the strength portion of this class. We'll do a little bit of a cool down, and then we'll be out of here. So we're going to do everything that we just did for the lower body one more time. So if you want to challenge yourself, if you felt like anything was too easy, if you want to try one of the standing exercises that you didn't before, by all means. If you felt like you tried the standing exercise and maybe it was a little too hard, go for the seated, okay? It's whatever you can maintain your form in, whatever you feel is comfortably challenging. So you want to feel like it's a challenge, but you don't want to feel like it's hurting you, making you uncomfortable, causing pain, anything like that. We like a burn. A burn pain is good. That means muscle is working. Any other kind of pain, I'm going to tell you to regress it to either the chair version or even the lesser version than that, or even just a rest. It's okay to take extra rest as well. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with the glute sets in 2, and 1. So sitting up nice and tall, squeezing our glutes and relax, squeezing our glutes and relax. Perfect. So this is actually called an isometric contraction. So we're not lengthening or shortening the muscle. The muscle is staying the same length. We're just contracting the muscle, like creating that tension and then relaxing that tension. Okay, guys? So right in the glutes, in the back of our body, we are creating that contraction and then relaxing. We've got 3, and 2, and 1. Going back to those hamstring curls, we're going to start on the right side. Make sure you have some room. We're going in 3, and 2, and 1. We're bringing the heel up to the butt and then down to the floor. Heel comes up and down to the floor. Great job. If you ever want to progress this one, you can use ankle weights. If you want to progress this to standing, you can actually stand, hold on to something for balance, bring the heel up to the glutes, and then lower to the floor. Okay, guys, so you're going to feel it a little bit more in this one because you're also balancing on one leg while you're bringing the heel up to the glutes. We're going for 2, and 1. So we just did the right leg. We're going to switch and go ahead and do the left leg, right? Yeah, I think so. This one. So we're going to go ahead and do the left leg so you can bring the heel up to the glutes and relax, again, with the hamstring curl. But again, option to be standing up here, bringing the heel to the glutes and then relaxing. So this one you should be feeling in the back of your thighs here. The hamstrings live there, and that's what creates this bend in the knee. We're going for 2 and 1. Okay, feel free to stay standing if you'd like to do your marches in a standing position. That's where we're going next. If you'd like to do them in a seated position, go ahead and take a seat or stay seated. We're going to do marches, bringing the knee up to the chest in 2 and 1. Here we go. So last time doing these marches, again, so this is actually working a lot of core here, especially if you don't have a back, like you see what I'm doing here, like I don't have a back to my chair. So I'm using my core to keep my body upright while I'm bringing my knees to my chest. If you're standing up doing this exercise, that's great too. Bringing the knees to the chest. Again, make sure you're not bending over like this. Restore that posture. Open the chest. Bring the shoulders back. We got 2 and 1. Nice job, guys. Coming to that seated position, we're going to be going for the Longar Quad, working the upper part, the top part of our thighs. So starting with the right leg, we are bringing the leg out, contracting here at the top, and lower down to the floor. Out, get that contraction, lower to the floor. Sitting up nice and tall. Last time doing these of the day, really try to feel that leg contract before you go ahead and let it go. Awesome work, guys. 10 more seconds. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Switching legs here, going for the left leg, extending that leg out and then bringing the foot back to the floor. So this one, you can't really do this one in a standing exercise, but there are other exercises you can do in standing to work this muscle. So if you'd like to know about that, stick around after class and I can give you an exercise for that. We've got about 10 more seconds here. In 3 and 2 and 1. All right, we're in a seated position. You feel free to stand up. We're going to go for the calf raise, coming up onto the toes, lowering the heel. Up onto the toes, lowering the heel. Feel free to stand up. By the way, all this, if you're getting up and down a lot, that's a workout in and of itself. So you should be proud of that too. It's adding to your class. If you're getting too tired, feel free to stay in seated. We're going for those calf raises now. Last exercise here, bringing the heels up to the ceiling and then slowly lowering them back down. Okay, this is if you're in standing. If you're in seated, same exact exercise. Bringing the toes up, slowly lowering the heels down. Great work, guys. Pull that core in. Think about pulling your belly button to your spine to really contract that abdomen. Sitting up nice and tall. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. That is it, guys, for our lower body portion of the class. Feel free to have some water, take a little break. We're going to have a short cool down and then we will be out of here. Okay, so just go ahead and take a little break. Get seated in your chair, nice and comfortable. I kind of have to sit to the end of my chair because I'm pretty short. We're going to do a few of the exercises that we started to warm up with as a cool down, a little bit slower though, okay, guys? So very first thing, instead of 1 foot at a time, we're going to be reaching down both hands to your feet and then up to the ceiling. Okay, bring the arms around when you come back down. So reach the arms straight up and then bring them around back down to your toes. Okay, so kind of just stretching out the spine, stretching out the arms, bringing the arms around, opening the chest, and then touching the toes. Again, you don't have to get all the way to the toes. Whatever distance you can cover is totally fine with me. Not only did you complete the whole class, but you completed the hardest part of this class, which is always showing up. So you really pushed yourself to come to class today, and you're going to reap the benefits from showing up to class today, even if you had a hard time convincing yourself to get here. You're here, you did it. We're going to come back up to that seated posture. We're going to be bending our elbows this time, turning in one direction, back to the middle, spinal twist in the other direction. Okay, guys. Might be a little creaky here. Sometimes I crack my back when I'm doing this one. That's totally fine. Nothing that cracks and doesn't hurt. As long as it doesn't hurt is what I mean, then it's okay. Alrighty, getting that head to turn as well. Alrighty. You're keeping that spine moving today. For 2 and 1. Back to seated. We're going to bring one arm up over the side back to the middle, second arm up over the side. Again, wherever you come to is totally fine. We're getting a stretch in the side of our body here, on the side of our core. You might not think about it, but your core is working all day long, so it's good to give a little bit of a stretch to your core when we can. And lastly, we're going to end with some of those shoulder rolls. So bringing the shoulders up, back, and down the spine. I think this is a really restorative thing to do. Opening your chest, bringing your shoulders back, restoring that confident posture. Shoulders back, chest up. I'm here. Be present. Bringing us back. Opening up the chest. And the very last thing that I like to do with my class is reach our arms all the way up overhead as high as you can get. And then just let them drop down, release all the tension. Thank you guys so much for coming. That is all I have for us today. I hope you enjoyed. So we did a strength and conditioning class today. So we did upper body strength and lower body strength. Again, if I do this class again and you'd like to progress any of the exercises by adding weights, or if you'd like to know any substitutes for any of the exercises that we did, feel free to stick around. And otherwise, I'm going to end the recording. So thanks, guys. I'll keep the class open, but I'm going to end the recording.